Bright Tuty. Every student matters.
Moving on to is the assignment questions, wherein you have the first question that says, what are economic institutions? Now, when you talk about the economic institutions, it is, economic, the complex form, or it is common to distinguish between the economic systems and in the development of the humans. Now, economic institutions are all the activities of man for the production. It takes care of the production, it takes care of the distribution, and it takes care of the consumption of various things to satisfy the needs of the people is known as the economic institutions. Talking about what are primitive economy, now when the sociologists have defined the economy under occupation basis and primitive economy by characterized under the hunting and the food gathering societies is known as the primitive economy. When you talk about agrarian economy, it emerged when agriculture or settled cultivation became the main aspect or main economic activity. What are industrial economy? What is industrial economy? It is the modern economy or the modern economy wherein you see the emergence of industries is termed as the industrial economy. What is the dominant occupation of people in the agrarian economy? It is dependence on agricultural aspects. It is the dependence on agriculture, which is the occupation of the people out there. What is mixed economy? Wherein you take the best of two economies, wherein you take all the positives from socialism and try and eradicate the negatives of capitalism is known as the mixed economy. Moving ahead, give a brief on the primitive economy. I'm sure you'll be able to write the brief on the primitive economy, wherein you're trying to explain the hunting and the gathering community. You're trying to explain how simple the society was because, there was no division, there was no hierarchy, people had their own work well defined. All of these aspects come under the aspect of, under this primitive economy. Features of traditional agrarian economy, where you have low or no technology available. You have no technology available. You have the family was working as a unit of production or as a unit. You did not have the agriculture was done only from the point of consumption, and hence there was scarcity of grains. It was mainly the manual labor that was being taken care of, and majorly dependent on the weather conditions are the features of the traditional agrarian economy. Right, two important features of the modern industrial economy. Now, when you talk about the modern industrial economy, you actually have to mention about the production system, which has become, which is very expensive. It is the investment of the huge capital that is needed for the purchasing of the raw materials, for machineries, all of these aspects, and then you need larger population to satisfy the need of the machineries out there. Then you have all consecutive works in terms of transportation, marketing, sales, all available, and hence, and also one very important thing, that skill sets are given major importance in this particular economy, and that becomes a part of the mixed economy. Talking about distinguish between agrarian economy and industrial economy, I'm sure you'll be able to write it when you talk about, here you'll talk about the agricultural aspect, here you'll talk about the industrial aspect that we have just discussed before. Moving ahead with explain briefly the term mixed economy. The mixed economy, Indian economy is considered to be the mixed economy, wherein you have the compromise of two economies, like we have just discussed the positives of socialism are there as a part, and the negative of capitalism is eradicated and hence become a part or the aspect of the mixed economy. Establish differences between the developed economy and the developing economy. When we talk about the developed economy, it is largely mechanized. I'll just try and write it here in short. It is largely mechanized, dominated by the tertiary sector. It has a major part to play here. It is the society which requires high levels of living. Requires high per capita income, high investments, and it is high investments as well. And the techniques of the production are also required are high. Wherein, when you talk about the developing societies, it is the introduction of industries or machinery, or mechanized techniques rather. It has the economy dominated by the secondary sector, and it also has good potential, and more per capita income is required, more of the laborers are required, and it is fairly the large population used or required for the operation of this sector. Moving ahead to the last question, differentiate between traditional and the modern agrarian economy. We have just talked about the traditional economy. We have just talked about the modern agrarian economy, wherein we talk about the use of, I'll still write it here, wherein we talk about the use of technology. We talk about the use of sciences. We talk about the manpower involved. We talk about the use of high yielding capacity seeds, which actually comes in terms of technology only. We also talk about the consumption, while herein it was only done in the traditional sector, it was only done for the traditional, but in the agrarian it was also done for the selling purposes as well. And how, here only family was the unit of production, wherein here it was a joint entity, it was a joint venture where everyone's efforts were taken into consideration. All of this has actually explained economy as a social institution. All of this has actually explained how important is economy for our society, and how important is the aspect of having the whole sector, or the whole timeline that we could make or we could trace in terms of the economy and the developments and the technological advancements that has taken place in the society, and how we understood that with every small change in the society, the economy of the country also changes, because the more advancements that you have, with all small changes, it's not just about for the technology, it's also in terms of the population that is available. It also in terms of what kind of functioning that the society is performing. All of those aspects actually play a very, very major role in understanding the economy as the social institution. I hope all of you had a good time understanding this, and all of those aspects are clear to all of you, and you are able to answer the questions asked towards the end.